Welcome back to Green Car Geek. I'm Julius, and this is the one where EV owner Alan shares about his Tesla Model Y and his wife's 7-month-old CyberTruck. Alan gets into why he made the shift to electric, how having only EVs works for them, how much he's saving having EVs, as well as learn what life is like with the CyberTruck. And if you buy your gas at Costco, I suggest you watch this one. By the way, if you're an EV owner who'd like to share your story, head over to Substack and look for GreenCarGeek. There you'll find a pinned post with all the details on how to get the ball rolling. One last thing, this video was a little problematic to shoot. It was our first ever shoot at this location, and we had to reshoot, but this was the best footage between the two. While I was able to get the audio to be somewhat usable, there's nothing that can fix a filter with smudges. Yeah. Just know that many lessons were learned on this shoot that have been addressed to make future interviews a far more pleasurable experience to watch. All right, now, here's Alan's story. All right, today, hey folks, this is Julius with Green Car Geek, and today we are at Rancho Sierra Vista here in the Santa Monica Mountains and chatting with Alan. Thank you, Alan, for coming out today.
Thank you.
So today we're going to be chatting with Alan about his experience with electric vehicles. Let's begin by asking, how long have you owned an electric vehicle?
Well, got the first one in 2023, I guess, December of 2023.
And which was that? What did you purchase?
That's the Tesla Model Y, the long-range one.
Nice. And you previously owned, I assume, a gas car?
Yes. In fact, gas car I replaced it with was a pretty high-powered. I used to own a 2017 Dodge Charger SRT.
Okay.
So big block engine.
Big block Hemi V8.
Oh yeah.
Nice. What?
Oh, yeah.
300, 400, 500 horsepower, somewhere in that
Oh
range?
yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay. And you were using that as a daily driver?
Yes.
Awesome. And what brought you to purchase the electric vehicle and replace the Charger with that?
Well, two things. One was, I did all the numbers and math. I'm a kind of a math geek sometimes, so I did the numbers and figured out with my commute, I commute up to Goleta every day from Oxnard, so it's quite a way. But we figured out that I could save about $350 a month in fuel.
Just in the cost of fuel?
Just in the cost of fuel.
So, do you mind me asking how much you were paying to fill the tank up on the Dodge?
Well, it depended on, the price of gas at the time, but yeah, it was, generally I was spending $50 or more.
Wow.
Every time I filled up.
And that becomes quite expensive quite fast.
It does.
That's awesome. So you decided to save some dollars. I'm going to go electric, and you chose the Model Y. And this was 21?
This is 2020. This was December 2023.
23. Okay. Yeah. Was that new or used the purchase, if you don't mind me asking? Okay.
That was a new car.
And did you find the costs?
Well,
as far as I assume since new, you bought retail, you bought it off the website through Tesla.
Yes.
And the cost for that car, if you don't mind sharing, I can understand if you don't want to.
I don't recall the exact cost, but it was about, I do remember it was about $60,000 out the door.
That's actually not bad. That's actually
and everything
not bad.
else. So it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
I remember I had looked at some old paperwork on my Dodge Charger, and I'd actually spent $400 more.
Oh wow.
For that many years earlier. So,
Are you finding an equivalency in the performance of the two vehicles?
Not really. The Model Y is much faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not only
faster than my V8, and I think that's part of the reason that I got it was when I first took it out for a test drive, I was like, oh my God, this is faster than my Charger is.
Yeah, so you're saving money on the purchase, effectively. You've saved money on the not having to pay for fuel now, or maintenance, or oil changes, and the routine stuff that comes with that. Do you still own that
Yes.
Tesla? Okay. And have you done any math on since you've purchased it, how much you have potentially saved after selling the Charger?
For total amount,
Roughly.
no, but
No? Okay.
like I said, saving at least about $350 a month, just in fuel, and another probably several $100s a year on not having to get oil changes or
Yeah.
lube
So 300 a
things
month
and-
at 12 months is already $3,600. Is my math correct there?
yeah,
So yeah, and you've had it for 2 years now.
for 2.5 years. Yeah.
So we're talking over $7,000, maybe close to $8,000 saved,
Yes, at
and
least.
no
yeah.
maintenance to keep
Well,
it.
I did have to replace I didn't have to, but I did replace the windshield wiper blades. That cost $25.
Have you gone
so-
through a tire rotation?
I've gone through several tire rotations, yeah.
Have you gone through a tire replacement?
Not yet. That's my next time that I would take it in, I'm going to get tires. So
Okay.
it's going to be in about 2,000 more miles.
And
to
as
get
far as
those
brake
replaced.
wear issues there,
Very, very little brake wear.
and what was the reason you don't have brake wear?
Well, the biggest reason is the Teslas use regenerative braking. So they use the motors to actually charge up the battery whenever you're slowing down or whenever you let off on the gas. Basically, you're driving with one foot.
That's nice. That's nice, and it makes life a lot easier. I don't remember. Do the Teslas do one pedal driving?
Yes.
They do. Okay. My car does as well. My wife's does not. So, we own EVs myself, 2 of them. But that's awesome. And so you now you still have the Model Y, and now you have
The
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck. Yes.
What brought you to buy the Cybertruck?
Well, actually, it's my wife's
Oh, nice.
Cybertruck. When it comes down to that, we have a mobile disc jockey business,
Okay.
and also do like bar trivia, that kind of stuff. And so we've always needed some kind of a truck or van, and that's what we, chose. We actually signed up, for it when it first came out, or when it was first released or talked about back in 2019.
Put your reservation in.
Exactly.
Very cool. Very cool. And you've had this now for what, a year?
About 7 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Almost a year.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How many miles, if you don't mind me asking, do you have on it now?
It's only got about 3,800 miles, I think. It's mostly local miles, as opposed to my car, which has got about 38,000 miles on it.
38,000 miles. You're saving close to $8,000 a year just on that one. That's one of the main reasons why I want to get word out and help people understand that in this current time period, things are changing as far as not so much interest in EVs, but we have laws that are being revoked and removed. Incentives are going away. But even though you might lose these incentives, there are still major benefits to be had by going with the electric vehicle as opposed to an ICE-powered car. Plug-in hybrids are also an option. However, you're kind of between both worlds, and you're still paying for all that maintenance and fuel to use that gas car when you do use it for that purpose. All right, let's take a minute, and how about we take a quick walk around and kind of tell us about the truck and what your favorite parts are about it. That would be great. All right, so Alan, if you wouldn't mind, maybe just walk us around the car, kind of give us what your favorite features are of it, why you chose the Cybertruck.
Well, the Cybertruck, contrary to a lot of popular belief, it is a real truck. Okay, it has a full 6-foot bed, which is generally nowadays a little bit longer than most of the other cars.
5.5 I'm seeing on a lot of trucks coming up.
Yeah, they're usually doing 5.5-foot bed. This has got a full 6-foot bed. That's with the tailgate up.
Okay.
Other things that I like, I don't know how well you can tell, but you can see that this back wheel is turned.
Yeah, tell us about that. Why is that turned?
It has 4-wheel steering.
So when you're turning one way or the other, it's doing kind of like the big fire truck and counter steering those back wheels to help pitch the car.
Yeah, and in fact, this can turn around in a circle tighter than my car can.
Really?
So
that's something. You would love this. My wife has an Audi and actually that's got a pretty tight turning radius, but it's probably tighter than my Kia. So that's great. Yeah, and that should make for great use off-road if you're going to be doing that. Now,
Oh, it does great off-road.
have you taken it off-road?
Yeah, we've taken it off-road a couple of
Okay.
times. So, you know, it also has the ability to raise the height
Okay. So
on
it's
it
using air suspension.
and stuff with the air suspension system, and it goes up quite high.
Hmm. Get some good ground clearance to be able to get over
Oh,
obstacles.
absolutely. I think it goes up as high as 18 inches
Oh, wow.
extra
Okay.
ground clearance. So
That's considerable.
that's
Yeah,
that's quite a bit.
that's definitely, off-road truck worthiness there.
Yeah.
So you get the four doors and
Mm-hmm.
the usefulness of four doors. It seats four total, or is it
It'll
three
seat
in the
five.
back? It'll
Yep.
seat five.
Yep, three in the
Okay.
back.
Cool. Any issues with the truck? We've seen a lot of stories about the CyberTruck and people trying to do wacky things with them and breaking them and all that kind of stuff. Have you had
Well, we haven't tried to break anything
Okay.
on purpose.
intentionally? Sure, sure.
But we haven't actually had anything, break or go bad or anything like that with it. It has had the, normal software recalls, what they call a recall, which is just basically a software update. One of them, the most famous one was the first one that it came out with, which was for the font size. It wasn't large enough for the U.S. government said, need to be a little bit bigger.
Okay.
So they had it as a recall, but it wasn't actually a recall. It was a software push out.
Well, if I understand correctly, just to clarify, do you understand is that the National Traffic Highway Safety Administration has ruled that software updates are now considered like a TSB or some kind of recall?
Right.
You just have to report it that way because we're making the change to the vehicle because we noticed something or we're including a new feature. And so now it's considered a recall, but it's a software update.
Right.
Just like you would update your computer.
Or your phone or
Yeah.
anything else. Yeah, it does it automatically. So,
And the benefit of cars like this, the Rivian, and most cars that accept over-the-air updates, which is basically a wireless update, is they can enhance many things that the car may or may not have had originally when you purchased it. Has there been any, other than the minor change to the font size, any additional features that have been added so far through a software update, or not yet?
not so many on the CyberTruck because it's new enough that it hasn't, had to get a bunch of those. My car, the Tesla Model Y that I have, has had several different things added or features. You can use what they call summon, which will allow you to have your car in a parking lot. And if it's raining outside or something, you can come out of the store and use your phone and say, come and get me.
It'll
The car
use
will
your
drive
location and drive to you.
Yes.
Nice. So you got your own personal valet.
Yeah. So you can have it come and pick you up, and then you don't have to, run around in the rain so much and get everything wet. And
That's awesome. Now you said this is your wife's car.
yeah, she uses this on a daily basis. I use the Model Y because I commute farther.
Now that was a personal choice that you wanted to go with the Cybertruck, or there was an actual utility as the reason for the Cybertruck.
It was for the utility of it.
Okay, and that was the DJ business
Yes.
effectively? Nice, all right. And so you can throw all your stuff in the back. And what I've noticed about this one, and I don't know if you can catch this, Irene, if we can cruise back this way, is the lockable tonneau cover.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
it's open right
it's
now.
open now, but it's remotely or mechanically operated.
And you can see right now we just have my wife's normal carry bag, but yeah, you can close the cover just at the press of a button.
Very clever.
And this will hold up to 300 pounds. It's steel. It's
Oh,
not,
good. So you can actually stand on here if you need.
Oh yeah,
to.
it's not plastic. It's steel.
Very cool. Very nice.
So
All right. So very cool that the tonneau cover is controllable and you can lock the whole thing, keep your stuff safe in the back. That's really nice. We were talking about usefulness of the truck and its daily utility. Your wife drives this around to go and do the shows. Large tires, driving it around, the steering on this is I assume it's not an issue.
not at all. Not at all. And in fact, because it has what they call drive-by-wire, which means that it doesn't have a normal steering column. It's more like an aircraft in that you just have, a control stick or whatever you want to call it there.
Right, right. So there is,
And
just to be clear, there is no steering column. I think there's some kind of backup mechanism just in case, so there is a mechanical connection to the front wheel. Should the drive-by-wire system fail, it does have redundancies to be able to allow you to safely steer the car.
Yeah,
The truck.
yeah, there's actually two backup lines or whatever, just like in an aircraft.
Sure.
They don't have cables or anything on aircraft anymore. It's all electronic as well. But they have backups for everything.
Now this truck uses a yoke steering wheel. No, this is
Yes.
more of a, is it a yoke or a squircle?
It's, well, I guess it's a squircle.
So it's more of a rectangular with rounded ends is what it is. Isn't kind of like you see in a Formula One car. And you're not finding any issues because, can you explain to me how that works if you're making a full U-turn?
Well,
Having a
it doesn't
hand over
turn,
hand thing?
no, it doesn't turn all the way. It won't go in a complete circle.
Really? Okay.
So even with it turned right now, should I
Sure.
show you here? This is how you open it. You press the button.
So much like the Mustang Mach-E, you pull the
But
door open.
this is all the way right now. And you can see it's not even completely upside down.
And that would be the max extent it goes. It does. That's lock to lock on that. That's full left lock right now.
Exactly.
And so to determine that you're making a U-turn is, I don't know if you know the technical way it determines that. I guess because you're still holding it, it assumes you're going farther than just a right-hand 90-degree turn.
If you turn the wheel, the extra that you get for the U-turn comes from the rear wheels turning.
So these kick in as you're making that, and they help pivot the car around.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and of course, it really only does it at low speeds. It's not going to do that when you're on the freeway. It's not going to, turn the wheels,
Okay.
and make you, jump off the road or anything like that. So.
I can't remember if it was the Throttle House guys or if it was one of the other guys who had a G-Wagon and basically pivot 360 on its center axis. I assume that they're just overpowering one of the wheels and locking the fronts and doing some kind of power slide. I know the Chevy Silverado does the Sidewinder mode. Is that something this vehicle is capable of doing?
No. This does not do that,
Okay.
and it's probably a good thing because it'll save your tires.
I would think so.
Because every time you've got, the tank mode or, those kind of modes, you're literally turning the tires, on the pavement surface, which is, wearing out a little spot every time you do it.
Okay.
So,
Power for external use, vehicle to load, vehicle to home, vehicle to grid. Does this vehicle offer any of those services?
yes, and in fact, this one, again, in the bed, has outlet for it has two outlets here for 120 and a 240 volt outlet as well.
That's awesome. So much like the Chevy Silverado and the Ford F-150 Lightning, this vehicle gives you the ability to become your battery backup if you should need it. If you have outages of power at your home, we have similar experiences where I live, which is why we bought a Kia Niro EV. It gives us that ability to use the car as a big battery source while the power is out. I don't think our car will connect to the home yet, and I don't know if these do, but I would assume a software update, if the hardware is built in to be able to do it, a software update would be able to engage it and give you access to that.
Yes, and in fact,
All right, Alan, so we were basically talking about the power capabilities that the vehicle offers. We have already spoken about the financial savings an electric vehicle offers. Many concern themselves, or at least had concerned themselves, I think this is getting less, but you tell me what your experience is on charging. Have you done any major road trips with either of your two cars?
we have. In fact, right before we picked this one up, we were on a road trip with the Model Y. We went from down here, Ventura County, up through Sacramento, visiting people up there. Then we went over to Reno to visit some more friends there, back over to the coast and up through Oregon, visiting more friends, until we finally ended up in Washington.
Wow.
To visit my brother-in-law and his wife, and stayed there for a couple of days, and then came all the way back. So
Well, it's the Tesla charging network. Did you use the Tesla charging network exclusively, or did you find yourself using a CCS charger here or there?
no, we actually used the Tesla charging network exclusively on that trip. I have used it, at a couple of places just to make sure it does work. But we've had issues with a couple of times finding working ones with other brand. I guess
This can happen, sure.
not being as well maintained as the Tesla charger network is.
Sure, sure. And this is one of the benefits that almost every car manufacturer is offering folks these days, is the ability to use Tesla's charging network in addition to the CCS connections that are available through services like Electrify America, ChargePoint. Iona, which is currently growing and expanding. Mercedes-Benz is creating a charging network of its own, and several other entities are kicking some out. So when we first went on a road trip, that was in 21, we were pretty much stuck and limited to Electrify America. And I got to say, thankfully, I only had one issue charging with Electrify America where the chargers didn't work. I won't get into that story here. That's for another video. But that's quite the journey. Probably what, 3,000 miles, 4,000 miles total?
Actually,
and parts
yeah, I
in
think
between?
when we got back, I think the total was about 6,000
6,000
altogether.
miles. Effectively without a hiccup.
No
panicking on
hiccups.
when's the next charger going to be? Because, can you tell me why that was so simple, at least with the Tesla?
Well, because the Teslas have in their navigation system, you can put in a destination. It will automatically tell you where you're going to need to stop and how many times you're going to need to stop to charge up, and it maps all that out for you.
That's great.
So yeah, it's even better than when I had my gas car. Of course, you just went and you knew there would be a gas station. But
This is true.
I
This
did
is
run
true.
into once or twice where the gas station that used to be open
Had now closed.
wasn't.
Mm.
When we went on a long trip, across through Arizona and stuff, and I thought, oh, it's going to be there, and it wasn't, and barely made it into the next town. So
Now, this was with phones and cellular service at this time, or were you on a Thomas Guide or a
no,
street
no,
map?
that was with phone still. That was
Okay.
about.
So you had the ability to kind of look around and see if there was something nearby. I don't know if Gas Buddy was around or.
I don't think I had Gas Buddy on there at the time.
So this is
Yeah.
pre-2007, I'm gonna guess.
Oh yeah, this is probably I think 2005.
Wow. So again, ICE, great. And this is something we have all become accustomed to and are comfortable with, is we get in our gas car and we can basically go anywhere knowing there's going to be a gas station just about every corner. The network of charging infrastructure is still growing, and many independent organizations that are not receiving any funding from the federal government are continuing to push out their efforts to expand that charger network. So again, if you're having some doubt about whether or not you're going to be able to charge, I believe the Tesla network is 15 to 17,000 chargers. I might have that number wrong. It might be greater. In addition to all the existing CCS networks that are out there, again, Electrify America, ChargePoint, EVgo, Iona, gosh, I can't name them all. There's just so many independent companies coming out with their own. They're funding it through their own dollars. Iona, by the way, Mercedes-Benz, Hyundai, Kia, Stellantis, I believe, Toyota, Honda, General Motors, have all basically, BMW, have all basically thrown their money into a company that is doing just that, building out charger networks. I believe they're looking to hit 30,000 chargers by 2030. So we'll take a look at the numbers. If I got any of that wrong, I'll put some notes up on the screen here to correct my talking points.
Yeah, no more range anxiety. I think we got over the range anxiety on our very first trip to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So, and it was kind of funny because We actually, beforehand, we used to go to Las Vegas for disc jockey conventions and
Sure.
just for
CES.
fun
I don't know if you got to go to CES. It's
and
kind
stuff.
of a
No,
private.
not CES. That's
Yeah.
too crowded for my taste. But you know, we always stopped in Barstow
Mhm.
for lunch at Chili's.
Okay.
You know, and we go on from there and stuff. And well, this first time we took the Model Y, I realized that there was a set of chargers right behind Chili's in Barstow, where we always stopped anyway.
So perfect. Convenient.
So it was like, yeah, pull up. Oh, okay, plug in, go inside, use the restroom, sit down, order our food. And of course, by the time the food came, I'm getting a message on my phone telling me, hey, your car's charged, you need to move it
Yeah.
so somebody else can use the spot. And I'm like, oh, okay. Run out, move it real quick, come back in, eat,
Yeah.
and take off.
Yeah. That's awesome. If last thing I guess is, I mean, it's a question everyone asks. The range on the two cars. Your Model Y that has a range of
About 300 miles.
so
Okay.
80% of that maybe 280 is as far as you'd probably want to go before you want to stop, or do you go and take it down to 10%, 3%?
Well, usually I don't take it down to very much. I typically, because I'm using it to commute, I plug in every
okay.
night.
Okay.
So when I get home, I hop out, I plug
Plug it
in,
at home.
and I go inside, have dinner, and by the time I get up in the morning, everything's charged up and ready to go. I only have it set to go up to 60% because that's going to give
Helps
me
the battery.
close to 2 days worth of driving if I forgot to plug it in for some reason.
Sure.
I could still get back and forth to work, another day. But yeah, it's that simple. And in fact, I did a test with the gas car before we got rid of it and stuff to find out how long it took to fill up. And I started, factoring in, oh, I have to drive to the gas station now. I don't have to do that in my electric car because
That's
I'm at
actually
home.
something I've not heard or anybody consider in the math involved in how long does it take to charge my
Yeah,
car.
people never do. And, so it was like, okay, well, go get gas at Costco or my other favorite, Silva's, which are the cheapest ones around. And so it was, a good 5 to 10 minutes drive at least to get there. And then, of course, you don't pull right up to the pump because there's people
There's
in front
usually
of
a
you.
car in front of you.
And so for every one car in front of you, that's going to be 5 minutes. So you got two in front of you, there's 10 minutes.
Plus the time to have driven there.
Right.
Wherever you're going from or to, you're still having to go there.
Exactly.
So I guess if on
And
a
then
road
drive
trip,
back.
yes, and drive back. Yes, that's true. I guess
Yeah.
if on a road trip, that time to get to the charger would be kind of the only time where that would null that out and make that a zero, the time to get somewhere. But if you're having to go to the gas station, put in gas for the week, that is time to get in your car, drive somewhere, wait. Especially at a Costco, the lines there can be 10, 15 cars deep. And so that's fine. Where you could have just left it plugged in at home and let it charge itself. The time it takes to charge, my answer is, well, how long do you plan to be using the car? How long do you sleep is usually the question I'll respond with. And so charging overnight is the benefit of these vehicles if you have the capability of doing that at home. Understanding that there are many who still don't have a charger at home because they live in an apartment or some kind of condominium complex or townhome with an HOA that may not allow them to install these devices. And that's where advocacy comes in, where you work collectively with those others who might have EVs to work together to bring change to either your HOA, your community, or your apartment complex, and work through those channels and see if you can get those. I do think California requires now, at least new homes, again, don't quote me on this, that there's going to be the need to have charger capability in every new home going forward. So I hope that's the same for apartment complexes. I'll do another video maybe talking about the challenges of those who don't have the ability to charge at home. That can be something difficult. But Alan, thank you so much for coming out today to chat with me about your EVs and your experience. It's great to hear that it's saving you some dollars. You're finding that it's not been a challenge as far as usability. It's actually kind of improved and giving you more benefit. Would I be correct to say that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, again, by getting the truck, now we can do off-roading that we didn't used to do in our van, you know, because it wasn't an off-road vehicle.
Yeah.
So.
Which, by the way, there are videos out there where people take their Teslas off-road. So just something to consider. I would recommend it. It's a very low ground clearance and potentially getting stuck. But if you need to get on a trail that's fire trail, you probably okay. But again, you're on your own to do that. Well, again, thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. You have a great time enjoying your rest of your days with the Teslas, and I hope everything continues going well for you and safe driving going forward.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. That's it for this one. We'll catch up with you guys in the next one.